when it comes to who the greatest arm wrestler of all times is, there really is no debate about that. John Brzezinski is the clear favorite, and he is the only name that comes to everyone's mind. And in fact, if you try to name someone else as the GOAT, be prepared to receive some heavy criticism, not only from the arm wrestling fans, but also from the elite arm wrestlers of the community. But lately, the idea of Devon being the future GOAT has been populating the arm wrestling community a lot. Ryan Bowen being the first notable arm wrestler to initiate this talk. Devon is actually genuinely approaching the debate of GOAT status. Devon has found a new ability to improve his game, and his dominance over Hermes and Denis Siplankov are really significant. If he has a dominant victory over Levan, I think that it's a reasonable thing to say that he's the GOAT if he does that. We will discuss if Devon can be the future GOAT or not, but before that, let's see what is the criteria of deciding the GOAT of arm wrestling. So as of now, the number one thing is dominance and longevity of dominance. Then after that, maybe some add-ons. So what do I mean by that? Dominance. It simply means being the number one arm wrestler in the world. The younger age at which you achieve dominance, the better it is for you if you want to be the GOAT. So John Brzezinski started dominating somewhere around 20 years of age. At 21, he won over the top. But even at that time, Scott Norton was beating John. Sometimes I think when people say John has dominated arm wrestling for 40 years, I kind of know that they're way overestimating the stats here. Because when I hear the word dominance, I think of being number one in the world overall and not just your own weight category. So let's say John started dominating at 21, and then in 2008 Arm Wars, he lost to Devon Larratt. I don't think, however, I may be wrong, there is about 10% chance of that happening, that John wasn't ever the number one guy in the world after 2008 loss to Devon. Because after that, Andrei Pushkar and Denis Siplankov had risen to such a level that they could have flash pinned John as many times as they wanted, and after that John got old. So 2008, I believe, was the last year when John was the number one arm wrestler in the world. So that makes it about 23 years of dominance. So if we consider longevity for the new GOAT, then it should be 20 plus years if we compare it with John Brzezinski. And what did I mean by add-ons? By add-ons, I mean John was dominating while he was 95 kg, and you can include age factor in that as well. So this may not be really possible for anyone to achieve in today's world. Why? Because who is around 20 years of age and 95? Bacho Saginashvili. He is 18 or 19, 95 kilos. Imagine Bacho Saginashvili beating Levan in a couple of years from now. I don't think that is ever going to happen again. And maybe you can add versatility on the table as well to this debate. However, I don't agree with this, but some elites do. They think that you should be versatile in hook, top roll, press, counter-attacking, everything. But I believe that if you win, no matter how, if you're too dominant but you just know one technique, I think you should still be considered in the debate of the GOAT if you actually deserve to be there. So now let's analyze these factors with Devon Larratt. Devon has been really dominant lately. Is he capable enough of being considered as the future GOAT? Number one, dominance and longevity of dominance. When did Devon start dominating? Well, 2008, Devon became the number one by beating John Brzezinski, and he himself would tell you that he wasn't at that spot for more than 3 to 4 years. So what's that? Compared to John's 20 plus years, we only have 4 here. And right now we can say that Devon is number one, but he will himself tell you that he isn't until he beats Levan. He also doesn't consider himself as the best guy. So we only have about 3 to 4 years with Devon on this debate. And in 2008, Devon was about 33 years old. So more than 10 years of gap if we compare with John Brzezinski. And if we talk about the add-ons, well, Devon didn't really start dominating early. He didn't really start dominating when he was light. But what he has with him is being the double champ. He was weighing 115 kilos while he beat Prudnik, and almost the same weight while he beat Hermes Gasparini and Denis Siplankov. I mean, he could have cut to 115 kilos on the same day if he wanted to. There is one thing that nobody is considering, like why doesn't anyone say that John is the greatest arm wrestler of all times on the right arm? Because when I think of arm wrestling, I think of both left and right. This is one criteria that nobody is adding to that. But I think if somebody dominates with both arms, he should have higher percentage of marks in the criterias of considering the GOAT of arm wrestling. People were saying that Voivoda owned Travis Bagent. I'm like, how? They beat each other only once on the right arm and Travis dominated him on the left arm. To me, Travis was the better arm wrestler out of the two any day because he showed dominance on both arms and not just one. I think this factor can also be considered, or we should change the name to GOAT on the right arm. So only one add-on, being the 115 kg champ, simultaneously is there for Devon. And if we talk about versatility, yeah, Devon is at least as versatile as John, maybe more. So what does Devon need to do in order to become the future GOAT? Is it even possible? Yes, I do believe that it is possible, and these are the things that Devon needs to do. It is our job to kind of project these ideas to the elite arm wrestling community, because of course Devon is never going to say that, guys, I've done enough in my career now, consider me as the GOAT. He is never going to say that. I'm not saying Devon can become the GOAT, but I think these are the things that he needs to do in order to become the GOAT of arm wrestling. Number 1, he should beat Levan Saginashvili. Ryan was saying that he needs to dominate Levan. I don't think so. Any victory will count. Number 2, he needs to win the 105 kg title while simultaneously holding the 115 and super heavyweight title of the world. He can do that either before or after Levan, but these 3 belts should be with him all the times. And number 3, he should at least defend all 3 of these titles once against the second best guy in the world. He has already kind of done that with the super heavyweight title. He'll be doing that against Georgi Svetkov and then Levan Saginashvili as well. So that part is taken care of. He needs to defend the 105 kg title and 115 kg title once. And after that, maybe if he can add on something to the left arm as well, then I think he deserves to be called the GOAT. I know people like to stick to the ideas of old is gold. People will always say that our times were the best, but we should not make the criteria as difficult as it is right now, because dominating at the age of 20 is not possible, and it will not be possible in the future as well. Thanks for watching. Mention your thoughts in the comment section, like the video and subscribe.